All right, welcome everyone. It's Ken LaRocca here. I am back now from my vacation. I didn't do a video last week, so what we're going to do is we're going to cover the last 2 weeks. So we're going to be looking from the beginning of September 1st, 2019, up until this Friday. But before we get into that, I want to talk about a couple things. I think there's a misconception out there regarding people that are trading any kind of method or if they want to call it a system, call it whatever you want to be. 9 times out of 10, it's not the method, it's not the system, it's the trader, okay? And the reason I say that is because you can have the most accurate setups that you can find, 95%, even if you can guarantee a 99% setup winning ratio. Most traders are not going to be able to make money with that, and I'll tell you why. There's really two reasons for that. I've been doing this for over 38 years. I was actually a broker for 11 years. I see how people trade, and typically what happens is, number one, they either get into a signal early, they don't have any patience, or they get out or too early, or they get in too late on any particular signal. Because what they're doing is, let's say that a signal comes up and it doesn't look good, okay? For the trader that hasn't been trading for a long time, a trade that does not look good is typically going to be a winning trade. Because think about it this way. The majority of people that trade do lose money. So if the majority of people, okay, see something that looks good, if you see something that looks good, and you haven't trained your mind yet to kind of look contrarian on what you're seeing. If it looks good to you, it probably looks good for the other 90% of the people. And since we know 90% of the people lose money, chances are it's probably not going to be a winning trade. But then you see a trade that doesn't look too good, and you're thinking, I'm not going to take that. Those are the trades that are usually the winners. Those are the trades where the professional's going to come in, they're going to take advantage of it because they know the public is not going to take it. So you have to learn to train your mind. You have to get to the point where you believe in whatever method or system, whatever you want to call it. When it has a signal, you take the signal, okay? Now, yeah, there is some discretion involved in terms of looking at, if you have strong fundamental data that maybe came out and market's shooting up and you have a short signal, you may want to wait, things like that. That doesn't happen very often. I would say maybe 10% of the market where you see, craziness like that. But overall, you are going to get nice setups, and it's just a matter of, do you have the discipline in order to take the signals? Now, like anything, it takes time. You can't think that you're going to go out and buy my program or any program, all of a sudden you're going to start making money next week. Doesn't work that way, okay? If it was that easy, we'd probably have it automated. Everybody would start trading it, and then eventually it would fall apart, okay? It's not that easy. You do have to put some time. I call it chart time. You do have to put chart time in. But I promise you, if you put chart time in and you follow my method or any method, you will be successful, but you do have to put chart time in, okay? Now, when we're looking at 5 minutes, now the reason obviously I trade 5 minutes is for two reasons. Number one, 5 minutes gives me a lot of opportunities to make money. So if I'm down, let's say I start off and I'm down for the day, I know I have a lot of opportunities in order to make that money back. You want opportunities if you're going to be a short-term trader. The other thing is short-term, a 5-minute move for me is much easier to predict where it's going to go over the next 5 minutes and where it's going to go over the next hour. The only difference between trading hourly binaries and 5-minute binaries is 5 minutes, they just run a little bit faster, okay? Prices or the premium changes faster. So I see a lot of people, they're used to trading hourlies. They come in, they start trading 5 minutes. They get into the old habits of using indicators, looking at support and resistance, looking at trends, looking at stochastics, Bollinger Bands, all kinds of nonsense. And then they don't understand why they can't make money. Okay, and so it's because, think of it kind of like buying a sports car, all right? you go to a dealer and let's say you want to buy an R8 or you want to buy a Ferrari, okay? You just don't buy that Ferrari and step off the lot and start driving it. If you're used to driving a Ford or a Chevy or whatever, a high performance car is gonna be a lot different than driving a Ford or a Chevy. And any reputable dealer that sells you a car is going to put you on a test track and let you test that vehicle out and learn how to handle it. So if you jump into that car, you haven't tested it, you haven't practiced with it, and you jump and you start driving down the street and you wreck the car. Is it the car's fault that you crashed? No, it's your fault because you haven't taken the time to learn how to drive it. It's the same thing with 5 minutes. You 5-minute binaries, you have to learn how to trade the 5 minutes. So you need to give yourself time. I tell everybody several things that's important to do when you're trading 5 minutes. 1, trade 1 or 2 pairs only, okay? Number 2, have an objective coming in. Once you hit that objective, go ahead and get out of the market, okay? You don't have to be in there all day. 3, you need to be profitable at least 9 out of every 10 trading sessions in a demo account before you ever think about going live. And then finally, watch my video on how to transition from a demo account to a live account, because you want to do it in baby steps. You want to work your way up to it, so when you finally do go live, you are very well prepared in order to start trading. What happens to a lot of people is they want to jump into the live account right away, and then they haven't built up the emotional control, okay, the impulse control, and then they end up not making trades or getting in too early or getting into that revenge mode or the old missing out on trades, so they jump in late. Those kind of things all can be destructive to your account. So give yourself time. Take your time to learn, whether it be my method or any method, and make sure that you can trade it profitably in a demo account before you even think about going live. Okay, so let's take a look at a couple things here. Sorry, my voice is a little hoarse still getting over this darn bronchitis. I guess it lasts a long time, but hopefully you can understand what I'm saying. Okay, so let's go back to the first. Obviously, we had vacation, we had holidays. Sunday night, Nadex was not open Sunday night, and it was not open Monday morning. Trading resumed Monday night. That's when I started trading before I went on my vacation. So I had a total of 6 sessions I traded. One thing I always do is I always go back and I look at, was my first trade profitable or not? And of these 6, I had 83% winning. So if you look at this, we had one session, I think, that I was my first trade was not a winner. Most of my first trades are a winner. It gets back to that old premise. You come in, you hit your objective, you get out. Most cases, for myself, I can do that. That's what I recommend most people do. I trade all day long only because I'm in chat and I'm trading with my students. So I kind of have to, but my preference would be to come in early in the morning, have an objective coming in, meet my objective, and then stop trading. I don't need to trade all day. And that's what I recommend you do. But anyway, 83%, very nice probabilities. I mean, that's a very nice probability. Now, let's look at the, obviously, a nice, decent result for the week. Very consistent. If you go back and look at my prior videos, I'm probably somewhere in these numbers every single week. That's real important when you look at any program. You want to see consistency. You don't want to see one week you make 500, next week you make 2,000, next week maybe you lose, week after that you make 10. I mean, you don't want something that jumps all around the place. You want something that's fairly consistent. And also the probabilities. Now, when I talk about naked trading, what I mean by naked trading is these are assumed that you're not considering EOM, you're not considering any kind of pair correlation, things that I teach. You're not looking at anything but just saying, okay, it's a sell and I take it. It's a buy and I buy it, just like a robot. You're not looking at any other things to see whether it's a market that's tradable or not tradable. And these percentages are pretty high. I challenge you to find anything that has these higher percentages on naked trading. This is very high. And the reason this is high is because, and they consistently stay like this, is because These are based off of behavioral patterns. Behavioral patterns are highly predictable. They always have been, they always will be. I found this back in 1989, and they still continue to this day, because there are things that humans do that are predictable, okay? And you're not going to find that in an indicator. You're not going to find it in stochastics. You're not going to find it in a Bollinger Band. You're not going to find these, these other things that a lot of people like to use. People that use it typically are inexperienced traders, and they're not consistently profitable, okay? I've never known of a successful trader that uses indicators. So, like I said, I've been around for 38 years now, and I haven't seen it. So, and I can tell you from my own personal trading, when I started off, I believe like everybody else, there was a magic indicator. Found out that after years of doing that, I found out none of them worked. When I finally realized it came down to patterns, that's when things turned around for me. So anyhow, let's look at these. These are overall naked results for the Aussie, Euro, Pound, and the USD. You can see they're all in the 70% range. Pound was kind of weak in the evenings overall on the for this week, but you come over to the next week, it's 79%. So you'll see that they run anywhere between 70 to on average 80-85%, which is a really strong percentage, considering that you're not filtering it with any kind of EOM or any of those other things that we teach. So very strong. So right off the back, just putting the trade on, the percentages are in your favor. Also want to say is, just because you have something that's highly has high percentages doesn't necessarily mean you can go in and you're going to make a lot of money. You have to learn how to adjust your trading size. So don't expect that you're going to make consistent money just trading one lot. You've got to be able to adjust your size, and that comes only through time and experience. There is no magic formula. It's just something that you will see in time. You'll get a feel for whatever pair or pairs that you trade. I recommend trading no more than 2 pairs, preferably just 1 pair. You will understand its personality. You will know when a signal is stronger than a prior signal. Those are the times when you want to come in. You want to put on a few more contracts, okay? That's what's going to get your account growing. You're not just going to be able to just stay there and just trade once. It's not going to happen. So what I typically do during the day, I start off in the morning, and I start off with ones with the idea that I'm going to build a base. If I build a base later in the day, I see a strong trade, I'll take it. If I'm wrong, at least I have a base that cushions my loss, okay? So I always start off with 1 lots. Now, if I start off with 1 lots and I start to lose, then what I'll do is I'll back off and wait for a strong signal and then come in and put, I usually do a 1-3 ratio. So I'll do something like that, put on 3 contracts on the stronger signals, and work my way up that way. So once again, only doing size is going to get you growing, but give yourself time and patience to learn how to do it. Don't jump in expecting you're going to make money after a week or 2 weeks of learning this. You do have to spend some chart time. I see so many people buy my strategies, and I never see them in chat. I never hear from them. And I give everybody the opportunity to have 1-hour consultation with me, whether you join me in chat or not. A lot of people don't take advantage of it. I don't know how they're doing, but you've got to treat this. This is a serious business, okay? You got to treat this like a business, and you don't come to work, half of the week and expect that your business is going to be successful. It doesn't work that way. Particularly if you're self-employed. Self-employed people put in more hours than 40 hours a week. Because they know that by putting in time and effort that their business is going to grow. If you don't put in time and effort, your business is not going to grow. Same with trading. So anyway, nice percentages. We look at the next week. Now, of course, I took off. I was on vacation. We left. I didn't trade Thursday night. I was out of town on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So I didn't come back until Tuesday of the following week, which was this prior week. Traded up until Friday. Once again, if you look at these statistics, once again, I mean, look at that 86% morning session. That's overall. That's every morning session for the Aussie and every evening session for the Aussie. I mean, these are really good percentages, okay? consistent with what I would expect, $29.89. That's what I expect. And then in this case, I actually, 2 of the sessions, my first trades were losers, okay, 71%, but I still ended up having a good week, okay. So that's what we're looking at. Once again, now the charts, I'm not showing the charts in this video. If you want to get a hold of the charts, I do send out the charts. You've seen them in the past where I show my buy and sells. I show where the signals come in, whether it was a buy or a short, whether it's profitable or not profitable. That is available if you're on my email list. So you can either go to my website, buymeprostrategies.com, give me your email address. If I already have your email address, you're going to be getting these charts. I do a midweek recap with the charts, and I do an end of the week recap. So you'll be able to see the charts. I don't print every single one because it just gets crazy, but I typically pick one pair, and I show you the one pair for that particular day, morning and night. And I do that for all trading sessions, going from Sunday night up until Friday. So it's kind of nice to take a look at the charts as well. And of course, my members have access to that in the members area, because all the charts that you see when you're in chat, I make a copy of that, and I save that so the students can come back and do a little bit of research on their own if they like to do that. So everything's archived. So anyway, that's it. Once again, if you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. You can always get a hold of me by going to my website, binaryprostrategies.com, and I'll be glad to talk to you about anything. So that's we'll be back this Sunday night and starting all over again. I'm looking forward to a good week. I think there's a lot of good news in the market. Should see a lot of good volatility, and that typically means that we're going to have some really nice opportunities for the week. So once again, if you like these types of videos, please give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe. Any new information I send out, you'll be the first to get it. I'm getting ready to release a pattern that I found like 3 years ago for the 20-minute US 500. If you're a 20-minute person, I don't trade 20 minutes anymore, but it's a really cool pattern. I'll be glad to share that with anybody that wants it, but that's going to be out in the next few weeks. So by giving me your email address, I'll make sure you get a copy of that as well. So that's it, folks. I will be back next Saturday with my next update for this coming up week. And if you get my email, if you're on my email, if I have your email, I will go ahead and send you an update on Wednesday so you can kind of see how we're doing for at least the first part of the week. I wish everybody good trading and all the success, and I will talk to you next week. Okay, so if you're interested in learning exactly how I do this, I do offer 2 different packages. And the way this is set up is that if you want to learn about the core strategy package, now that isn't going to include all the videos. You're going to get full access to all my training videos and educational material. You're going to get full disclosure of the core strategy, which I use a lot, particularly the single and double continuation patterns. The majority of all the results that you see on my daily returns is going to be based off of those 2 patterns, okay? I also do trade the delta pattern, and I also will show you how to use the nibble strategy. The nibble strategy is designed to catch very short-term trades, and I'll show you exactly how to use that in combination with some of the other core patterns. Also, how to transition from demo to a live account. This is very important. That video is also included. As you know, it's also available on YouTube for free. But how to transition from a demo to a live account is very important. Something you need to watch. Don't just jump in and start trading in a live account. You want to learn the strategy, and you want to make sure that you're profitable. I'd say at least 9 out of every 10 days. And then when you get ready to transition to a live account, please watch the video, because there's some really good steps on how to make that transition. Also, when you purchase the package, you're going to get a 1-hour personal training with me. So you and I will do a one-on-one, and I'll make sure that you fully understand everything and how it works. Now, This package is designed to pretty much purchase and go if you wish. You can purchase, watch everything, and go out and trade on your own. Now, if you want to learn about the core strategy plus the crystal ball, basically you're getting everything in here. You're getting the core strategy, but you're also going to get the you're going to learn the crystal ball method. That's something that's available. That's a video that is not available online. That's something you and I will once again sit down and go through and make sure you fully understand it. Now, if you decide that you want to go just with the core strategy and learn the crystal ball at some point, I'll just charge you the difference between the core strategy price and then the full price that includes the crystal ball. So I'll just charge you the difference between the two. Okay, so these are designed to basically purchase, learn them, and then go and do your own trading and so forth. Now, if you wish to join me live as I trade live every day, which I highly suggest, because what I do is I also, not only do I share my charts, but I show you where I'm getting in, where I'm getting out, what strike, what price, why I'm doing it, what I'm seeing in the market. It's well worth it, and that's only going to be $50. Okay, so if you want to, once again, if you just want to learn things on your own, you can purchase the package and move on. If you want to learn the package and then also join my live trading room, chat room, then that's just $50 a month, and that's $50 reoccurring as long as you want to stay. There's no time limit, so if you want to stay 2 months, 3 months, a year, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just $50 a month. Okay, so if you're interested, you want to go to binaryprostrategies.com, and in there under Join Now, you're click on that little button. It'll pop up. You'll see this, and you can go ahead and purchase one of these two packages, and or if you're a reoccurring member, you can go ahead and join the monthly if you're not already part of the chat room. So any questions, as always, you can always get a hold of me by going to the website. My phone number's there, email address, and so forth. So if you like to do that, feel free to give me a call. I'll be glad to answer any of your questions before you make a decision. But everything I teach is fully disclosed. I'm not holding anything back. I am here to educate. I'm not a signal provider. That doesn't do you any good by me just giving you my signals. I'm here to teach you how I see the signals, and I want you to learn them as well and be able to identify them as well as I do. And then, this way, you are free to trade on your own. You don't need me around all the time. But for those that like to stay in the chat room and trade with us live every day, that's always an option as well. So that's it. Thanks once again for watching my video, and you'll have a great day.